Yo, what's up gamers? It's your boy, and welcome back to Af-Rui-Ka, where today I built a ranger post themed striped hyena habitat. This is one of my favorite recent builds, probably one of my favorite builds that I've done. I don't know, it was just such a creative and fun experience to build this habitat. So let's get right into that. I only put a small portion of the amount of frustration I had with the fence going around the path in this habitat. It was so difficult to work with, I swear. I was so annoyed with this, and I had to redo this so many times. So this is just a small portion of the work that I did into this, but I had to do so many things, just go back and try again and try again and try again to get it perfect. And eventually I got it perfect enough. So then I get into the rock work in the habitat, and again I cut a lot of this out just because it's kind of standard, just regular rock work. But I wanted to make a sort of cave that went right into the middle of the habitat, and this cave would be sort of like a ranger outpost, quote unquote. Well, really all this is just a viewing area for my guests, because as I've mentioned in the past, you generally want to give your guests an opportunity to get as close as humanly possible to your animals. And so I had to be a little creative to get my guests up nice and close. And this right here, this is my favorite thing that I've ever done. I put the Jeep sticking through the rock wall, and this Jeep, you can actually, hypothetically the guests would be able to sit in the seats of the Jeep and look through the Jeep windows straight into the habitat. It's I don't know, it just made me so happy. It's such, I was so proud of that idea. I'm stumbling over my words. I love it. That one thing alone makes this habitat one of my favorite habitats I've ever done. But yeah, what I was saying, you want your guests to be able to, most of the time, be able to get right up as close to the animals as possible. Ideally face to face through some glass or some mesh or whatever it is. So yeah, I just did this little thing stuck into the habitat over. The bridge goes over the water moat that I have going around, and you're able to get up nice and close and personal. And I always use one-sided glass on all of these, pretty much every habitat that I have glass in. I don't know how realistic that is, but hey, this is Af-Rui-Ka, you know. The budget is pretty much non-existent. We just throw money around, do whatever we want. And then I put the enrichment feeder right up by this window on this little rock thing I did. And that's the best way I've found that you can work with the animals in this game to try and get them to do what you want them to do, is just by using enrichment items to kind of guide them wherever you want them to go. And here I'm building a little ramp because I had to elevate the hyenas a little bit to get them to where the guests could actually look through the Jeep window and see them. And so I built a ramp. I don't know, I thought this was cool. It's a broken tree ramp. I used the bark pieces from the tropical pack, which I feel have a lot of untapped potential for making custom trees in this game. And I know there are people that enjoy doing that kind of thing. I don't personally have the patience for it, but also when you're building little paths for your animals, like this one, a lot of the time you have to make it so that they can't walk off the side, because a lot of times they'll just jump off the side and it looks wonky. So you have to streamline the path with stuff that they can't cross to get them to use the path as it is intended. Yeah, and then I work on the foliage. I like my foliage to be dense, personally, even though that's not always realistic for habitats. For a carnivore habitat like this one, they're obviously not gonna eat all the plants, so it's like it's fine. It's whatever. And then I start building like this little stone platform. This platform kind of has two purposes. One of them is to shade the window, because I don't want there to be glare on the window, and I put something on top of it eventually. And then I really, for some reason, I wanted like this little root, like you'll see in a second, this hanging root going across here. I don't know why I wanted this so badly, but I was like, yeah, let me put this here. That looks good. It doesn't really make any sense in any regard, I feel like, but it's like, hey, I just wanted to do it. I do whatever I want. Pretty much everything in this habitat would have to be fake if it was built in real life. The cave would have to be fake. The trees would have to be fake. These roots would have to be fake. But it's like, you know, whatever. Like I said, there's no budget. I can do whatever I want. They can't stop me. I don't know who they are, but they can't stop me. And then I try and decorate the rocks a little bit. I don't know. These just like throwing big piles of rocks around in this game. It doesn't always like look the best, I feel. There needs to be like more detail. I don't know. I feel like I'm not very good at putting detail on the rocks to make it look more interesting, but it is what it is. And then I start on this little campground thingamabob. I start building a little campfire, and again, this would have to be fake. I don't think I could put a real campfire in the habitat, but I definitely just used a torch and stuck it in there. But it would have to be some kind of like fake torch if this was realistic. But I've kind of thrown realism out the window at this point. I initially had planned to like put like nice backstages everywhere and everything, but I don't know how to do backstages, to be honest. So I'm just not gonna do that. And then I put another Jeep up here just because I wanted there to be like a visible Jeep. The one in the back is kind of hidden if you're looking from the outside of the habitat. And then to finish up the project, I get to work on the cave. I start throwing these lights around. I don't really know what I was going for. I'm not sure exactly how this would function. See, it's like so unrealistic, but I'm trying to make it realistic at the same time. So I don't know. But yeah, I also put a bunch of the, you know, conservation education things, because I felt like this was a good place to put this kind of thing. It's a ranger outpost. You could teach people about what rangers do. And then I just started throwing a bunch of random junk around, basically, that you might see at a camp, maybe, I don't know. And then I also kind of tried to block it off so that the general public couldn't just like pick up one of those boxes and start messing with it, because that would not be ideal for them to steal a large box out of the habitat. And I try and like I make like braces out of these twilight planks, because I feel like realistically, or maybe unrealistically, what even would it be? In a real cave, you would have these wooden braces to like hold up stuff if you're like mining in there or something. But this is a fake cave, so these would most likely just be decorative, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm playing a zoo game that isn't real, then I'm trying to make it real. There's a lot of layers here, and I'm just not gonna worry about it. I try and make it look a little more realistic with some roots, but hey, we're already at the end of the speed build, and this is the end result, at least what it looks like so far. I may well go back and add things or change things, I don't know. I have a tendency to do that kind of thing. I don't think I would change that much. Maybe just like go back and do a little more theming, maybe. Just touch up the inside of this cave, because I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of started throwing stuff around. And I feel like that's how I approach all architecture in this game. Is I just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just start tossing stuff around. But hey, here we have the striped hyenas. I've been ignoring them all video. I really like the striped hyena. I think it's a really cool animal. It's an underrated animal, to be honest. But like, it's a cool addition to the game. But anyway, if you liked the video, if you like this build, leave a like. And if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe. And that's all for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.